back. Well, headline after headline about Strictly Come Dancing. I'm just having to look at some of them. Bullying in the ballroom, Strictly Come Dancing's dark side. First, we've got Giovanni Pernice, then Graziano de Prima. Now, Anton de Beck. Apparently, he's a false BBC Strictly Come Dancing star at the centre of misconduct. And then, who else is it? We're going all the way back. Oh, yes, clips are showing there. There he is. Clips are showing now Brendan Cole all the way back there. They're digging and digging, digging. James Jordan. I mean, the list is going on and on and on. Now, is it a case of wimpy, celebs that they didn't speak up at the time, or is there something, as Reverend Richard Gold said, something dark at the heart of dancing in itself? Well, my next guest, Terry Hyde. I'm really excited to talk to Terry because he's a retired West End dancer. He trained at the Royal Academy of Dance, and he feels so strongly about this issue. He's launched a charity, Steps, and his whole aim as a therapist is to raise funds to train dancers and teachers in mental health. So let me start off with Terry. Terry, thank you so much for joining me. You do counselling for dancers. Is there one world in which, and I'm saying this because I did dancing on ice, and one thing struck me, the normal, and I've started learning how to ice skate myself, the normal, inverted commas, world of ice skating and the real world are about a million planets apart. And when you've got people who are very rarely do they get a job for life, let alone coming back every season. They don't have to fight for the next gig in dancers and ice skaters. Many of them are going to hang on to that with all their worth. They're deeply competitive. It's been drummed into them since they were tiny ones. And into this scene comes celebs thinking, I'll give it a go. And these people have been trained in a completely different way. Give it a go. Win or die. I mean, is it as simplistic as that?
Yes and no. I started ballet classes when I was 6 years old, and I went through the Royal Ballet School. I went into the Royal Ballet and then English National Ballet, and then did West End musicals, film and television. And the career path is from an early age. So all of these professionals that are on Strictly at the moment have started at an early age, and it's inbred in them to do well, to win, as in those competitions. But in ballet and performing arts, we're there and we are trained right from the beginning in fear of not pleasing the teacher, fear of not pleasing your parents or whoever's paying for our training, fear of not pleasing the audience. So there's a whole build-up of fear. And then when you get into the profession, then you're fearing about the artistic director, fearing not pleasing. And then there's a fear of showing emotions. If, say, grandma died or something like that, or you've had a terrible day, fear of showing any weakness about injuries. So you work through 90% of dancers, professional dancers, are working with an injury. Performing with an injury. So there's this whole culture there of fear, whether it's from a teaching point of view or from an artistic director's point of view, it's implicit or is it explicit? Now, when you get to that point in life where you have got to get it right, then the fear builds up, the emotions build up, and then there are tantrums, and it happens all the time. But you see, when you get celebrities to come in who haven't gone through that, and I mentioned this in another interview, the sports and athletics and those that have been through some of the performing arts training have more of an idea of what's behind it all. And so there's probably easier for them. But people from the general population that come in who are celebrities haven't gone through that childhood training and that mindset that you've got to be perfect. Of course, nothing is perfect, but there's that real fight to get it. And so when they go into this, and it must be a big shock for them. And then the professional is getting frustrated. You're not picking it up quick enough. And so then that's when the issues can arise.
It's so interesting when you said that, because when I did Dancing on Ice, we had Libby Clegg, the brilliant Paralympian who was blind, but even so, as a Paralympian, really knew about training. You had people like H from Steps, stage school dancing. So those people that understand that background can deal with it. But as you say, if you haven't, the language, the hours, the stressfulness of, oh, you've twisted your ankle, so what, keep going, are completely alien. Now, lots of people are going to say, why didn't those celebs complain at the time? But is that kind of part of the ethos, as you touched upon, that you don't complain, you just train?
Yes, that's it. And there is that fear. It's the fear of showing weakness, because they see around them. These are the celebrities that are from the general population that hasn't gone through all that training. Yeah. Because they see how hard the professionals are working, and seeing how other people are working, that they need to work as well. And there's all the fear is built in. They're working for the BBC. You mustn't say anything. That's sort of implied pressure on it. And what would I look like if I actually complained and I dropped out? I mean, a lot of them did drop out, but and they possibly use other reasons for it. But yes, and I think in any walk of life, in any business, when you have perhaps an abusive boss, you fear saying anything for repercussions. And especially in the performing arts, this is not necessarily for the celebrities, but especially in the performing arts, you fear being blacklisted if you say anything.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, you're right.
They're starting to come out now.
Yeah, you're a moaner. You could be breaking contract by dropping out. So, and you might have given up a lot of other work to do Strictly. So if you spoke about it and you got dropped and what have you, and also, would I be right in saying that you're just you are going through that? Each, again, with Dancing on Ice, we're all on different ice rinks. I'm sure they're all in different practice rooms. You probably at the time think you're the only one. You're the only klutz who can't get it right, and what have you. So you don't complain because you just think, oh, it's me.
Yes, that's it. You do. You think it's me. What's wrong with me? And that's the sort of in fact, during one's training, that's what you think as well. Oh, it's me. What have I done wrong? And there's, the self-esteem just goes down, and it's being held down all the time. And all you're waiting for as a professional or a vocational dance student is someone to give you a compliment. And then when you get the compliment, and I'm sure it's happening during the series, when you do get the compliment, you say, yes, well, I could have done it better if I did this, rather than accepting a compliment to be able to move forward with that and take it on board. The performers and the celebrities are in fear of being big-headed. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah, you've got to be humble. You've got to be humble. And the thing is, from season to season, it gets more competitive. Last year, they did this. This year, we're going to do that. So it gets harder and harder. What is the answer? I mean, would you, if given a magic wand, who would you work with? The professionals, the celebs, all the above, management?
Yeah, I'd love the BBC to contact me to get me involved. Using chaperones is no good. It's a plaster for a whacking great gash down your leg, and it's just not going to work. How would the dancers, the professional dancers who are supportive, who are loving, and who are caring and working with their celebrities, how are they going to feel about having grandma, not grandma?
Yeah, somebody sitting there watching their every move.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So you'd have to work with everybody across the board, I think, right at the very beginning, and then drop in on people. I think people know that at any time that, Terry can swoop in or check in on them. And that, don't you think people tend to forget that something like this is for fun?
Now there you are. You've got the right word there. That's what's missing. It's the fun. Fun has been lost. Now, all the glitter, the smiles and all of that, when they're performing on Saturday night, great. That's the fun. But they have to have fun when they're rehearsing. Now, the the bits of filming they're doing during the rehearsals, you can see, I don't know whether they're putting it on, but you can see a bit of fun. But I think that's what's only thing that's going to be shown on the take two or in between bits bits of the program. But I think the true fun, and when dancers, and whether they're professional, whether they're vocational students, come to me and they're depressed or they're anxious or whatever, I go back to the beginning. Why did you start dancing? And when you look at, that's it. It's the fun. I remember when
I was going to say we've run out of time, but you make so much sense.
No.
You know what? I was very good. I was very lucky in Dancing on Ice. I had Lukash, and he made it fun for me. And guess what?
Yes.
I continued ice skating because even though I dropped out of the first hat, I didn't care. I discovered something fun. You make so much sense. BBC should hire you. Thank you for joining me. Terry Hyde there, psychotherapist, talking a lot of sense. He's got a very, very prestigious dance background, so he knows what he's talking about. Strictly pick him up on his offer.